So we're now going to look to see what happens to your tangent values as you approach 90 degrees from the left side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go y equals, and I'm just going to do the tangent. Okay, and let me go back in here and do connect. I'm going to create a table of values. So here I'm going to go into my table setting. Okay, I'm going to start my table at, let's say, 80 degrees. I'm going to change my table by 0.5. And then since I'm working in degrees, I'm going to actually go into the mode here and make sure that this guy is in degrees. Okay, and I'm going to hit second graph, and that's going to create a table. Now what I want you to see is as these values, now these are my angles, as my angle gets closer and closer to 90 degrees, what's happening to my value? Well, it looks like it's increasing without bound, meaning that it's just going to keep going on forever and ever. So graphically what this is looking like is the following. We're seeing for our tangent, here is 90 degrees at pi over 2. As we start grabbing values that are closer and closer, they start getting bigger and bigger, like this. And what happens is they're just going to keep growing the closer and closer we get to 90 degrees. So watch, if I change my table setting to 0.01, and now I go back in and look at my table. Let's start higher here. Let's start our table at 89.5. Notice how these numbers, as I keep getting closer to 90, look at how high they jump. I'm already at 318, so I'm already up here at a height of 318. So what's happening is, as my angle approaches from the left, so how we write that is this, the limit, as our angle approaches pi over 2 from the left, with the little minus sign means from the left, what is the function? What does the function do? What's its behavior? Well, this function seems to increase without bounds. So we say that the limit doesn't exist. However, it increases without bounds. So we show that this says that we're going to go up towards positive infinity. Now if we come from the other side, okay, let's get back into our table. And let's go to 90.1. At 90.1, we're really negative. In fact, as we get closer and closer to 90, from the right side, we're getting really, really large negative values. So what's happening here is as we approach from this side, we're getting really, really large negative values. So we say that the limit as theta approaches pi over 2 from the right side of the tangent, well, it doesn't exist, okay, but a way to write that is that it goes towards negative infinity. So our values are going up on one side, down on the other. And it gives us this break here, okay, and right in between at 90 degrees, since the tangent of 90 degrees of the tangent at pi over, I'll write it in radians, pi over 2 is undefined. It's not defined. There's no number out there that exists that can describe that. We have this vertical asymptote. So wherever you have undefined in your tangent, your cosecant, your secant, your cotangent, whatever it happens to be, you've got a vertical asymptote at that spot.